All right.
Finished. John 19:30. So when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, "It is finished." And bowing his head, he gave up his spirit. Now when Jesus utters these words, Jesus is confirming that he has done what he had to do. He finished the work his Father had given him to do. And even knowing the outcome from the beginning, he began to fulfill his mission in earnest, without hesitation, but with the determination of one who understands what is at stake. And he does so at the earliest possible opportunity, which is evidenced at the young age of 12 by his single-minded purpose, exposed in the question in which he asked, "Did you not know that I must be about my Father's business?" See, the business at hand was to seek and to save the lost, to show us the way to live and the way to the Father. The business at hand was he came to offer himself as atonement for our sin, as the only acceptable sacrifice to reconcile us to the Father. The business at hand was he came to die that we might live, and that more abundantly. So when he says it is finished, he has accomplished all of that and more. Certainly every prophecy regarding his life had been fulfilled, and I won't recall all of them now, but from the prophecy of his birth to a virgin in Bethlehem of Judea, to his triumphal entry into Jerusalem just mere days before he would go to the cross, to the prophecies concerning his rejection and being hated without cause, all the way to the cross were finished. But when he says it is finished in this moment, although included, I do not believe he is merely speaking solely of those things alone. Nor is he referring to his own anguish and sorrow at having been separated from the Father by the sin he bore that was not his own. Nor is he speaking about his physical scars or the pain of the beating and the arduous task of carrying his own cross. Not his humiliation at this kind of cruel and torturous death reserved for the worst of the worst offenders. Not talking about his own suffering from the pain of having nails driven through his hands and feet when tying with rope was the usual custom. I don't believe he was referring to any of that when he said it is finished, because he wasn't thinking about himself. He was thinking about you and I. Otherwise, he could have just come down. But in saying it is finished, every battle we have to fight has already been won. Every obstacle that we face has been overcome. Every plot and plan of the enemy has already been thwarted. Every debt that would have to be paid, every sin that would be washed away, and every soul that would be saved through the shedding of his blood had been accomplished. And yes, even the final enemy, death, had been defeated. Yes, there was still the matter of him giving up his spirit, but already knowing the end from the beginning, it could be counted done. Yes, there was still the burial, but that would have to be carried out by others. And there was still the resurrection, but that would be accomplished by the Father. So Jesus' work was finished. In light of that, these words were spoken not in despair and definitely not in defeat, as though he just couldn't bear anymore. But these words were uttered in triumph. Just as he had made his triumphal entry into Jerusalem just days earlier, fulfilling the prophecy spoken of in Zechariah, which stated, "Your king is coming." He could now say it is finished, because the king has indeed come and done the work he had come to do. And just as those words were spoken in triumph of what had been fulfilled, knowing the end from the beginning, we can live in great expectation with the confidence that it is finished. Our king is coming. And even as we wait for his triumphant return to claim those that belong to him, we should be ever so grateful that no matter what trials we may face during the wait, no matter that the road is rough and the going gets tough and the hills are hard to climb, no matter what it may look like or how we may feel, we